Hello, my high school students. It's Miss Rebecca. This week we're learning all about shape, and we're going to be creating our very own logo using the letters of our initials, which is our first name, our middle name, and our last name. And if you don't have a middle name, don't worry about it. You can just use your first name and your last name for this project. We're going to create a logo using those initials as shapes. And you're going to learn 3 fancy words. And the first word is translation. That means when you take your shape and you slide it from side to side or up and down on your design. And you also be using the word rotation. So that means you're going to be using your letter and you could turn your letter in an interesting way in your logo. And the last word we're going to learn is reflection, where we're going to take the letters in our initials and flip them. So that will make a cool part of our design. Now, would you guys like to try it out and get started? Let's go. This lesson is for high school students. We're focusing on shape. And we're going to create a logo, which is a graphic symbol, using your initials of your name. Today, you're going to need 2 colors of construction paper, any color, and 1 piece of white paper. You're going to need scissors, you're going to need a glue stick, and you're going to need a pencil. Okay? So let's get started. First, we have to think about our initials we're going to be using. Our initials are our first name, middle name if you have one, and last name. Let's just say these are the letters in your initials. The first letter I want you to make very large. The second letter I want you to make a medium size. And the third letter I want you to make it super small. Okay? Now, we're going to make a shape around these letters. So, how do we get from here to here? This is what we'll do. Let me show you. I'm going to use a black so you could see. You're going to trace around the letter without touching that inside letter. Trace around it. Don't touch that inside letter. So you're tracing around it, following the letter, and making the shape of the letter. And it turns it into a block letter. Okay? Okay. So now you have your initials. We now have to cut these out. And this is where you'll need your colored paper, because we're going to cut 2 at a time. So take what you did here and take a color behind it. So I'm going to take this blue. So I have my drawing on top and my plain blue paper in the back. I'm going to hold it very tight with my hand. And I have my scissors. Now, we're going to cut out the letters. When you're cutting, we turn the paper as we cut. We turn the paper, not the scissor. So if you notice, my scissor is not really moving. It's the paper that's turning as I'm cutting. And that will help you with your cutting. Don't forget the little parts. Okay, so now I have my 2 big R's. Okay, does everyone see that? I'm going to set that aside. And I'm still holding my 2 papers together. And I'm going to cut. I'm going to turn the paper as I cut. I'm not moving the scissors around too much. I'm turning the paper. Turn, turn, Now I have my two shapes. I'll set that aside. And the final letter, turning the paper to get this shape out. Okay, and then you could just throw that scrap to the side. We don't need it anymore. So now you have your letters. Now, we're going to make a logo out of this, but we're going to mess around with the letters now. This is called translation. When you take two shapes and you can slide it, you could slide it to the right, you could slide it to the left, you could slide it up, or you could slide it down. So when we make our logo, you can use translation or slide your letters up and down or right to left in your design. This one is called rotation. So in your design, you can rotate or turn your letters however you like. That's a rotation. Okay. And the last one is called reflection. So here's your letters. And another word is to flip. Flip your letters. Flip your letters in your design. So let's give this a try. Take your other color paper. Your other color paper is just for the background. Ugh, okay. So, take your two letters, whatever they are, start with the largest one. We're going to start with the largest letter, whatever it is. And maybe you want to slide it and you like the way that looks. Maybe you want to slide it this way and you like the way it looks that way. Okay. Maybe you want to rotate it or turn, rotation. Maybe you like how it looks like that. Or you like how it looks like that. Okay. Or you can do flip, which is, and you like how it looks like that. Now I think this looks pretty cool, like this. So I'm going to use this. Now take your glue stick. Once you find how you like your two letters, your first letter of your name, you're going to glue this down. Okay? So I'm just going to put glue stick all over it. And I'm going to glue down one side. And I'm going to glue down the other side. Okay, flatten it down. So these are my two large letters of my first name. Now take the medium letters and play around with it. You don't want to put the blue on the blue or the white on the white because you're not going to see the design. So make sure that you do the opposite color on top of each other. Now you can do any variation that you like. Play around with it. If you like it, then you're going to glue it down. So say you like it like that, or you think it looks cool like that. This is a simple design that you're making. You could turn it, rotation, play around with it, figure out where you like it. I think I'm just going to put them right here like that, right on top of each other. So I'm going to take my glue stick, I make sure the white is on the blue this time. And the blue is on the white. Okay, so I did my 2 medium letters. Oops. Flatten it down with your glue stick. And then I'm going to take my last tiny letters, which is the C. Now again, I could just play around with some rotation, rotating. That looks kind of cool. I could play around with sliding, sliding, sliding. Or I can do a flip, which would be, but I want to make sure the white is on the blue and the blue is on the white. And I think I like it like this. And there we go. This is a logo, which is a graphic symbol using 3 letters of my initials. So play around with it and let's see how yours comes out. I can't wait to see what you high schoolers come up with. Make sure you post your results.